Well, it is 2-Chord Tuesday, and I am coming to you today from a makeshift studio here in my parents' house because for the first time in the 4 weeks that I've been here, we actually got some rain today. The weather up till now has just been, I shouldn't brag, there's a heat wave going on, I know, like all over the country. But the weather here has been like 80, 85 during the day, drops to like 60, 65 at night. Not very muggy. It's all been really, really dry. Really, really great. But we finally got a little bit of rain, which was nice as well. And so I thought that Singing in the Rain might be a good song to do today. I was really surprised when I learned that Singing in the Rain does actually only have 2 chords in it. Now in the book, I play G to D7. That's not a good key for me to sing in, so I'm actually going to play it in the key of C. Wasn't a good key for Gene Kelly either. He sang it in the key of C. But also in the key of C, there's a couple of little things that we can do to turn this from a very basic song into a much more interesting and really complete sounding song. So the basic is just C to G7. It's the same chord progression as Ain't No Bugs on Me. Stays on the C for a while and goes to the G7 and then goes right back to the C, and that's the whole song. A couple of things I want to do though, as an intro, I want to play the doo-wop chord progression. That would be C to A minor, to F, to G7, C, A minor, F, G7. If you're a more advanced player, instead of the F, you can play a D minor, which gives it a little bit more of a retro kind of vibe to it. So you can play and so on. Or you can just play the F if that comes easier for you to play. They're interchangeable. The other thing I'm going to do is there's a nice little transition chord that happens when it goes from the C to the D, G7. And that's C sharp minor, C sharp diminished, excuse me. C sharp diminished, very easy chord to play. Basically, take your G7 shape, get your index finger out of the way, and then just slide those 2 down in the first fret. So you're playing 0, 1, 0, 1, C sharp diminished. And that resolves to the G7. So it becomes glorious feeling, I'm happy again. It's really easy to do. It sounds really, really great. And then the other thing you can do is a lot of times I'll see this written, the chord progression as being C to A minor 7, which is like that. And then also the D7 becomes D minor, G7, excuse me, becomes D minor 7. So you can do, so they kind of alternate between the two. And then, so you can play that. You can play C to A minor 7, which is 2033 or 2030. But because, and then the D minor, of course, is 2210 or 22103 if you want to make it the 7 chord. Or you could play the open C. D minor 7 is just an F chord that way. But because the A minor 7 and the D minor 7 are used as passing chords and really just sort of augmented chords, don't even have to do really that much work. The A minor 7 is the same 4 notes. It's the same 4 notes as C6. So this and same 4 notes. Little order in octaves where they show up on the thing, but they're the same 4 notes. So you can just do, so what I'll do is, you can do it like this. You could go, sing in the rain, just singing in the rain. and that's going to work fine. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch from the C0003 to kind of an A minor with a C on top, so that would be 200C. So, and then when it goes to the G7, it goes G7 to D minor, which you just move the fingers that are playing on your C and A strings to make your D chord, and then the index finger stays right on the first fret of the E string. Nothing moves. Or a much easier way of doing it is almost the same, but not exactly the same, but it accomplishes the same thing. And that is G7, G7, 6. Or G7-9, actually we call that 7-9. And I'm just lifting up my ring finger so the open A string rings out. So I'm going, right, super simple. I'm making a couple of little tiny changes, and all of a sudden this song starts to sound, much better. So again, C, and then, and that's it. That's the gist of the song. So what I'm going to do, I will start with a ba ba bum bum ba da 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 dun dun. 2 strums on each of those chords. That's the intro, the interlude, and of course the coda at the end. I'm going to play the first verse totally straight, C, G7. Second verse, I'm going to add that passing C sharp diminished chord into the G7, and then the very last verse, which has almost no singing anyways, because that's the tap dance portion of the song. If you remember well, you don't have to remember the movie. I think it showed up in a Progressive commercial or something a few years ago, the scene where he's dancing in the rain. When I do that, that's when I'm going to add all the passing chords and that kind of thing. So you're going to see it go from very simple to the much more complicated. But you're also going to see, as you watch the video, that more complicated isn't that much more complicated. And then finally, the one little thing I will do as a coda, very, very end of the song, he sings, "I'm dancing and singing in the rain." And that's going to be what jazz people call a 2-5-1 turnaround. And all that is I'm playing D minor, G7 to the C. And that's how the song is going to end. All right, the explanation has taken like 3 times longer than it takes to play the song. So I'm going to shut up now and just play the tune. Here we go. Singing in the Rain. Oh, one more thing with the strum. Standard 2-4, where we emphasize the 2 and the 4. I'm going to swing it like crazy. I want that up strum to be super, super late. I'm going to really lean into the 2 and the 4 to really get that happen. Really get that emphasized. Not a hard thing to do, regardless of your level as a player. It's not a hard thing to do, because you just do the bum ba bum 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 bum. As long as you got that da 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 da, everything else will fall into place. If you find yourself tilting your head back and forth like a Peanuts character, that's a sign you're probably doing it right. All right, enough talking. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart. I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain. I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain. Dun bum ba da 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 dum ba da 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 da. I'm dancing in the rain. Da da dum ba da dum in the rain. Ba-da-bum-bum, da-da-dum-dum, da-da-dum-dum. Don't forget that all of the songs we do here on 2-Chord Tuesday are available in my big little book of 2-chord songs for the ukulele, which you can order by going right here. Also, don't forget that that's downloadable, and you can download the digital copy of that by also going to this address. Make sure that you like and subscribe and ring the bell and smash the button and whatever the kids say you're supposed to be doing, so that you're subscribed and you get a notification every time that I put something new up. That's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.